Picture this. It's September, your neighbor's garden is still pumping out fresh vegetables every single week, while yours has already packed up and gone quiet for the season. What does she know that you don't? It's not luck. It's not some secret greenhouse. It's 5 crops she planted in August that most gardeners completely ignore, thinking the growing season is basically over. By the time you finish this video, you'll know exactly which 5 crops can still go in the ground right now, and trust me, once you see number 3, you'll wonder why nobody told you sooner. Hey friends, welcome back to Earthly Gardening, the channel where we help you grow more, spend less, and stop guessing what actually works in your garden. And if you're new here, stick around, because today we're talking about something a lot of gardeners get wrong this time of year. They think August means it's too late to plant anything new. That couldn't be further from the truth, and I'm about to show you exactly why. Before we jump in, if you find value in what we do here, drop a comment and let me know which crop on this list surprises you the most. It genuinely helps me know what to cover next, and it costs you nothing but a few seconds. While you're at it, tap that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming up this fall. Alright, let's get into it. Crop 1, kale. Let's start with the crop most people overlook because they still think of kale as a spring thing. Here's what nobody tells you. Kale actually gets sweeter and more tender once the weather starts cooling down. All that bitterness you remember from spring kale, it fades once frost touches the leaves, because the plant converts its starches into sugar as a survival response. So if you plant it now in August, by the time October and November roll around, you're harvesting kale that tastes completely different from anything you'd get in summer. The best part is how forgiving this plant is. Kale barely cares about soil quality. Give it a spot with decent drainage, water it consistently for the first couple weeks while it establishes roots, and it pretty much takes care of itself after that. You don't need fancy fertilizer or expensive setups. A little compost worked into the soil before planting does the job just fine. Spacing matters more than people realize too. Crowd your kale and you'll end up with smaller, weaker leaves competing for the same nutrients. Give each plant about 12 to 18 inches of breathing room and you'll notice a real difference in leaf size by harvest time. If you started seeds indoors earlier in summer, now is your window to transplant them out before the ground gets too cool for young roots to settle in properly. And here's something most gardening channels never mention. Kale planted in August often outlasts everything else in your garden. While your tomatoes are wrapping up and your peppers are slowing down, kale just keeps producing right through light frost, sometimes even into winter depending on where you live. Some gardeners in milder climates harvest kale clear through December just by tossing a simple row cover over it on the coldest nights. That's weeks, sometimes months, of fresh greens from a single planting, and honestly, very few crops give you that kind of return for so little effort. Crop 2, bush beans. If you're someone who wants results without the long wait, bush beans are about to make you very happy. These are one of the fastest growing crops you can put in the ground, often ready to harvest in 50 to 60 days. Plant them now in August and you could be picking fresh beans well before the first real cold snap hits. What makes bush beans so beginner-friendly is that they genuinely don't ask for much. No staking, no trellising, no complicated support system like their pole bean cousins need. You drop the seed, keep the soil moist until germination, and the plant does the rest. They're also nitrogen fixers, which means they're quietly improving your soil for whatever you plant there next season. Most people have no idea their beans are doing double duty like that, working behind the scenes to set up a healthier bed for next year's crops without you lifting a finger. One thing worth knowing, bush beans don't love extreme heat, so if you're in a region still baking in late summer temperatures, give them a little afternoon shade for the first week or two. A simple shade cloth or even the natural shadow from a taller neighboring plant works fine. Once they're established, they handle mild heat just fine, and they'll keep producing pods for several weeks if you harvest regularly, which actually encourages the plant to keep flowering rather than putting all its energy into ripening seeds. There's also a small trick a lot of experienced growers swear by. Pick your beans just slightly before they feel fully plump. Harvesting a touch early keeps the plant producing longer, because it hasn't gotten the signal that its job is finished. Wait too long and the plant assumes it's done its work for the season and slows way down. Crop 3, beets. Beets get a bad reputation they honestly don't deserve. Most people think of them as a slow, fussy crop, but that's simply not true when you plant them in the right window, and August happens to be exactly that window for a fall harvest. Here's the part that surprises people. You're not just growing one vegetable when you plant beets, you're growing two. The roots are obviously the star, but those leafy tops are edible too, and they taste similar to Swiss chard. So while you're waiting for the roots to mature, you can actually harvest a few outer leaves along the way without hurting the plant, giving you fresh greens for salads or sautés in the meantime. It's basically 2 harvests for the price of 1 packet of seeds. Beets also handle cooler fall temperatures better than almost anything else on this list. In fact, a light frost actually improves their flavor, pulling more sugar into the root the same way it does with kale. Keep the soil consistently moist, thin your seedlings once they sprout so the roots have room to size up properly, and you'll have a harvest that stores well for weeks after picking, which is a huge win if you're trying to stretch your grocery budget through fall. A tip that often gets skipped: soak your beet seeds in water for a few hours before planting. Beet seeds are actually little clusters of multiple seeds fused together, and soaking softens that outer shell, helping them sprout faster and more evenly. It's a tiny step that saves you days of waiting around wondering if anything is happening underground. Crop 4, carrots. Carrots planted in August are honestly some of the best carrots you'll grow all year, and most gardeners never realize this because they associate carrots strictly with spring planting. But cooler soil temperatures in fall actually help carrot seeds germinate more evenly, and the drop in temperature as they mature triggers that same natural sweetening process we talked about with kale and beets. The biggest mistake people make with carrots isn't the planting, it's the impatience afterward. Carrot seeds are tiny and slow to germinate, sometimes taking 2 full weeks before you see any sign of life. During that stretch, the soil needs to stay consistently damp, not soaked, just damp, or your germination rate drops significantly. A lot of gardeners give up too early, assuming the seeds failed, when really they just needed a few more days. Laying a thin board or damp burlap over the row can help hold moisture in during that slow waiting period. Once they're up and growing, carrots need loose, rock-free soil to develop properly. If your soil is heavy clay, don't worry, you don't need to overhaul your whole garden bed. Growing them in a container or raised area with looser soil works perfectly fine and actually gives you straighter, more uniform roots. Mixing in a bit of sand or well-aged compost also loosens things up without costing you much at all. Thinning is another step people rush through or skip entirely, and it costs them later. If your carrots come up too close together, none of them get the room they need to actually size up. Thin them down to about an inch apart once the tops are a couple inches tall, and resist the urge to feel bad about pulling the extras. Your remaining carrots will thank you with a much better harvest. Real quick before we move to the final crop on this list, if this video is teaching you something you didn't already know, do me a favor and tap that like button. It genuinely helps this video reach more gardeners who need to hear it. And if you haven't already, subscribe so you catch future videos like this one. Drop a comment too, tell me which crop on this list you're most excited to try this August. I read every single one. Alright, let's get into the final crop, and honestly, this one might be the most underrated of them all. Crop 5, broccoli. Most people grow broccoli in spring, get frustrated when hot weather makes it bolt and turn bitter, and then write it off completely. But fall broccoli is a completely different experience, and August is your planting window to make it happen. The reason fall broccoli performs so much better comes down to temperature. Broccoli actually prefers cooler weather to form those tight, flavorful heads. When you plant in spring, you're racing against rising temperatures the entire time, and one hot week can ruin months of effort. Plant in August instead, and your broccoli matures right as the weather cools, giving it the exact conditions it wants without you having to fight against the season. Give your broccoli consistent moisture and a spot with good sun exposure, and don't be afraid to feed it once with compost or a balanced fertilizer about 3 weeks after planting to support that head formation. Consistent watering matters more here than with almost any other crop on this list, since inconsistent moisture is one of the main reasons broccoli heads end up small or loose instead of tight and dense. And here's a bonus most people miss: once you harvest that main head, the plant often keeps producing smaller side shoots for weeks afterward, so you're not just getting one harvest, you're getting several from a single plant. Some gardeners end up harvesting side shoots well into the cooler months, long after they assumed the plant was finished. It's one of those crops that quietly keeps giving if you just leave it in the ground instead of pulling it after that first cut. Bonus crop: spinach. Now here's one that almost didn't make the list, only because it's so easy people underestimate just how productive it can be. Spinach planted in August is one of the fastest, lowest effort crops you can grow, and it thrives as temperatures begin to cool. Spinach hates intense summer heat, which causes it to bolt quickly and turn bitter. But by August, even a slight drop in temperature creates much better growing conditions, giving you a longer harvest of tender, mild-flavored leaves. It's also a great budget-friendly crop because you can start harvesting baby leaves in as little as 30 days. Since it's a cut-and-come-again plant, picking the outer leaves encourages fresh growth from the center, providing multiple harvests from a single planting. Plant seeds about ½ an inch deep in soil enriched with a little compost, and keep the soil evenly moist. Seedlings usually appear within 7 to 10 days. Another advantage is that spinach tolerates cold far better than heat. Light frosts won't hurt it, so in many areas it'll continue producing well into fall, making it one of the most reliable late-season crops you can grow. So there you have it, 5 crops that prove August is far from the end of your growing season. It's actually a second chance to fill your garden with fresh food heading into fall. Kale for its endless resilience, bush beans for a fast rewarding harvest, beets for that hidden double harvest of roots and greens, carrots for flavor that spring planting simply can't match, and broccoli for a comeback nobody expects. What ties all 5 of these together is timing. Every single one of them actually performs better when the weather cools down, which means the plants most gardeners write off in August are exactly the ones that reward you most for planting right now. You're not fighting the season, you're working with it. If you found this helpful, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss what's coming next, because we've got a lot more practical, budget-friendly gardening tips heading your way. Drop a comment and let me know which one of these 5 you're planting first. I'd genuinely love to know. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.